when you're almost 90, like I am, you look back and realize that life is not measured in the number of days we live, but in the quality of those days. And one thing I wish I had understood earlier is this. Poor sleep is not just about feeling tired. For those of us who live past 70, it can quietly shorten our lives. I want to share my story with you, not as a lecture, not as a doctor, but as someone who has walked this road. Think of me as your grandfather, sitting across from you, wanting you to know what really matters. Point 1. Sleep and memory. When I was younger, a sleepless night was nothing. I could go to work, stay sharp, laugh with friends. But after 70, things changed. I'll tell you about Margaret, a friend of mine, 74. She was famous for her chocolate chip cookies. One day, she forgot her own recipe, the same one she had baked for 40 years. Her children feared the worst, dementia, but the truth was simpler and sadder. Years of restless sleep had robbed her brain of the chance to store memories. At night, when we rest, the brain files our experiences like precious letters in a drawer. Without sleep, the drawer overflows and everything spills out. Point 2. Sleep and the heart. I lost a dear friend, George, to a heart attack in his late 70s. He was strong, active, still teaching piano to neighborhood kids. But what he didn't realize was that his heart never got the rest it needed. Poor sleep is like a hammer tapping the heart again and again. George had high blood pressure for years, worsened by long nights of tossing and turning. By the time the doctors noticed, the damage was done. I tell you this because sleep isn't only for the mind, it's for the heart, too. And when you neglect it, the cause can be your very life. Point 3. Sleep and the body's defenses. Think of your body as a castle. The immune system are the guards at the gate. Sleep is when they polish their armor and sharpen their swords. I remember Eleanor, 72, a woman in our church who always volunteered at the library. She had such a kind smile, but she kept getting sick. A simple cold lasted weeks. The flu kept her bedridden for months. It wasn't because she was weak. It was because she was tired. Her sleepless nights left her defenses unprepared. And so even the smallest enemy, a tiny germ, became too strong. Point 4. Sleep and falls. Let me share a painful memory. Robert, a neighbor of mine, 70, woke in the night to use the bathroom. Groggy and unsteady, he lost his balance. The fall broke his hip. I visited him in the hospital. He whispered, "If only I had slept better, maybe I'd have been steadier." Those words stayed with me. As we age, our bodies are not as quick. We cannot afford the fog that comes from poor sleep. A single fall can take away independence forever. Point 5. Sleep in the soul. This one is harder to speak about. When you don't sleep, it's not only the body that suffers. The soul does, too. Margaret, the cookie baker I told you about, began to pull away from her friends. She once loved parties, music, laughter, but tiredness dimmed her light. She became quiet, lonely, almost invisible. Sleep nourishes our emotions. It helps us face the day with joy. Without it, even the strongest spirit can wither. Point 6. Sleep and longevity. Now, I must be honest. The cruelest truth is that poor sleep can shorten your life. It doesn't happen in one night. It's slow, like a candle burning down too quickly, the wax disappearing before your eyes. Many over 70 who sleep poorly face greater risks of stroke, heart disease, or infections. But listen carefully, it's never too late. Even in old age, better sleep can bring more years and better ones. Point 7. The gift of renewal. Let me leave you with hope. My friend George, before he passed, tried something new. He cut down coffee, took quiet evening walks, and began reading before bed instead of watching the late news. For a while, he slept better. His blood pressure lowered. His laugh returned. Even at 78, he found renewal. And that, my dear friends, is the lesson. No matter your age, your nights can still become peaceful and your days brighter. Closing reflection. So, to you, my children, my grandchildren, all of you listening, I ask, are you giving your body and mind the rest they deserve? Don't treat sleep as wasted time. It is a gift. It is the body's way of healing, the soul's way of finding peace. At 90, I can tell you, sleep is not just about dreams. It is about living longer, loving deeper, and cherishing the moments we are given. I'd love to hear your reflections. Have you felt how sleep changes your mood, your memory, your energy? Share your stories in the comments below. Your wisdom may help someone else. And if my words touch your heart, please like this video, share with those you care about, and subscribe, so we can continue passing down the lessons that make life fuller, richer, and longer, because peaceful sleep is a foundation of a beautiful life.